Hey guys, I am deciding to go ahead and finally do the tattoo video, I guess, just explaining my tattoos. And someone, or actually a few people have suggested that I do them because a lot of people like them, I guess. And I am in my bedroom today because the room that I normally film in is in, or next to my son's room, and he's here and he likes to play online video gaming, and so I don't want to interrupt him or you can hear him in the background. So I'm going to do it the best that I can because I'm here by myself and I don't have anyone to help me. So we'll see how this works out. So, the first tattoo, the one that I have here, let's see if I can zoom in. Okay, so this one is my daughter's birthstone, and it is a beetle with its wings open with an iridescent look to it. And I just got this basically to represent my daughter and her birthstone, which I think is Garnet is the name of it. And then on this side I got my son's birthstone, and it's actually a ladybug with her wings open, and my son's birthstone, which is turquoise. And my daughter actually suggested the ladybug for Adam, just so that way the bugs wouldn't look the same. So that's the first one. The next one is a bigger piece, and it is, I'll make sure I get in focus here, is my sleeve. So this is a cherry blossom, and there are some cranes flying through, like silhouettes of cranes. And then it stops right here because we didn't want to put anything here. And then it has some clouds around it, and then I have this female Buddha sitting on a lotus flower holding some water and a wheat leaf, I think, with the sun in the background. And then if I can and then I have a koi fish, a fan, and then I have the geisha. And so what this one means to me is the kind of person that I am is I don't really wear my emotions on my sleeve. I hold them in. And that's probably because I've been a single mom for a very long time. I'm not now, but I was for a very long time. So I kind of had to act as the mom and the dad for my children. And so I kind of just didn't show any emotions. I didn't cry. I'm not a crier. And this just represents a woman who, the story behind it is this woman had to go in hiding. So she had to pretend to be a man, because the Buddhists would not allow her to be in their group unless you're a male. So she pretended to be a male to go into hiding, and this is just her under this tree in her most vulnerable moment. And I am very rarely in a vulnerable moment, and when I am, it's the floodgates open. So that's just basically what that means. The fish means good luck, and then the geisha is just the same thing. They are very strong women, and we just added this fan because the original drawing had her boob showing, and we just decided to put the fan over her to just cover that part up. And then I'm going to try to show the backs of my tattoos. So this one is my daughter, and I'll explain to you how I got the idea in a second, but I wanted to show you the other side. And then this one, which is on my other shoulder, is of my son. And the way that I came up with that idea was a friend of mine who is a seamstress and she makes quilts, brought in some fabrics, and there was a pattern of the fabrics and it had these two on there and then a bunch of other different ones, but it was all boys and girls, and they were doing different outfits, and it was all beachy type stuff. And it really caught my eye, and I said, well, let me have my tattoo artist draw this up. So I gave him a picture of the fabric, and we came up with these two, and the fabric was more on the watercolor side, and he suggested that we made it a little bit more detailed, so he did a little bit of alterations to the drawing, and that's what we came up with. So the next tattoo is these puzzle pieces, and these puzzle pieces represent autism. And my son has Asperger's, and which is a form of autism, and this is just kind of a dedication to him and all the other children and adults that have to deal with the with autism, pretty much. So that one's pretty simple. And then I have some on my legs, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to film that one. All right, so this one here is a lighthouse, and it's just on my left thigh. And it's my stepfather, who passed away several years ago. He collected lighthouses, and this one was his favorite. And it just has his name, Charlie, right here, and then the date of his birth and date of death, and then just like the beam shining around the lighthouse. So hopefully you can see that. All right, so this one here is for my grandfather on my mom's side, and he really liked to bowl. And he passed away right before I turned a year old. And so I never really knew him. I only have pictures of him holding me as a baby. But this is just his grandpa, and it's got a bowling ball with a bowling pin and the date of birth and the date of death. And I forgot to mention these are all from the same artist, and I'll link his Facebook page down below. And so this one's just for my grandfather on my mom's side. This one is for my grandfather on my dad's side, and he was very into church, and we just decided to do the cross with a banner wrapped around it, and it just says Papaw, because that's what I called him, and just the date of death and the date of birth. And I did get a chance to know him. He passed away probably in my early 20s maybe. And this is on my left outer calf. This one here, and I'm only chuckling because I'm trying to do this by myself. So this one is on the back of my right calf, and I don't know if you can see it, but it says, "A lion never loses sleep over the opinions of sheep." And that one just means that, and it's also a saying from Game of Thrones. And I'll explain that one here in a second. I just want to get this other one out of the way. Okay, so this is the last one that I want to show. I have a couple other ones that are kind of old, and were just silly ones that I got when I was a teenager. But this one isn't finished yet. It's just a cover-up of a rose that my artist was doing. It was a rose with thorns made to look like it was going in and out of my skin. So he's in the process of covering that up, and we just did an outline, and next week we'll be coloring that in. The one that I just showed you, "A lion never loses sleep over the opinions of sheep," is just basically, it's a saying from Game of Thrones. So if you watch Game of Thrones, you would know that. But the way that I take it is that never let people that you don't care about, or they don't mean anything to you, and they're mean to you, or they're rude to you, or they put you down, or they don't motivate you, don't ever lose sleep over their opinions of you, because it doesn't matter what they think. The only people that matter are the lions in your pack. So that's just what it means to me. Sheep, you're the lion, they're the sheep, and they don't matter to you. They're the minions of your life. So that was my tattoos. I hope it wasn't all jacked up. That was kind of hard trying to film that by myself, but I just wanted to get it out of the way. and maybe I'll do an updated one once the other one's redone. And I plan on getting one of my legs done as a sleeve. I don't know what you call it, but my entire leg. So I hope y'all found that enjoyable, and always remember to stay positive and always improve upon yourself each and every day. And I will see you in my next video.